Hello and welcome back to the old realms and our mercenary gunner. I have 25 points in steward now, so I do have the ability to select a perk. Obviously, we're probably going to be taking frugal because, you know, generally reducing your wages is always a good idea. And considering we're actually going to be recruiting a bunch of noble troops sometime soon, getting minus 15% recruitment, that's always good, right? That's always good. So anyway, we have another focus point to spend as well. I'm thinking, you know what? We do need to go for engineering, but obviously engineering is going to be pretty difficult for us to level up unless we get books. Obviously, books definitely going to make a big difference. But I'm thinking right now that maybe what I'd like to do is roguery instead, because here's the thing. As we walk around here, we are inevitably going to be taking prisoners, right? We're inevitably going to be getting those. So it makes sense for me to try to level up my roguery skill as fast as possible. Because if I level up my roguery skill, I'm going to be getting even more loot, which is going to make me even more money. And then from there, I'm going to be able to afford the books. You understand? I think that's probably, it probably makes sense, right? It probably makes sense in my weird ways. I think it will. Okay, let's do this. We're going into an Empire deserter battle here. I'm hopeful that I'll be able to learn a little bit more about how to use my pistol, because for some reason I'm just absolutely awful at it. I have no idea why, but yeah, it's not really going too well at all. Anyway, we're just going to go into a nice little loose formation here, and my forces are just going to, yeah, they're just going to unleash. Unfortunately, the enemy has some pretty good, well, as you can see, they have some pretty good shields. Terrible. Okay. Okay, I hit a shield. No, why do I hit a shield? Why? Really? Okay, well, whatever the case. Oh yeah, I actually need to turn on damage numbers again. My apologies for not having that on just yet, because obviously I turned it off for the Spellcaster series because there is no point in me having damage numbers on when I'm literally killing, I don't know, 500 troops in one fell swoop. Did he actually kill something, by the way? No, he hasn't killed anything yet. I gave him a bow and he hasn't killed anything this entire time. Oh my. Oh no. I was kind of hoping that he'd be a little bit more useful, but yeah. Ooh, you know, he's grinding my gears almost so hard that I want to get rid of him right away, even though I spent 10,000 on him. I know that that is a huge waste, and I'm sure that he's probably going to be okay if we just invest a little bit of time in him, but he has very little redeeming feature. He doesn't really have much. So I am, yeah, I mean, kind of not too pleased at the moment. So let's just say that. Anyway, just going to get a bunch of horses here, as you do, you know. As you do, try and make ourselves run a little bit quicker here. Bear in mind that if I do get into an auto-resolve battle here, it's gonna be a bit harsh because I obviously have archers, and they are not going to be doing too well there. But anyway, yeah, as you see, the roguery skill is going to level up pretty quickly because you saw there we only had, what, 7 prisoners or something like that, and we already gained a point in roguery. Obviously, we are very low in roguery at the moment, so of course it is going to give us a pretty good amount as it is. You know, we're not really breaking the bank in regards to our prisoners at the moment, but hopefully that will change as time goes on. Okay, so we just made a pretty decent amount of cash. I actually feel like I should wait here for some time. I really don't want to wait here for some time because every single time I'm just standing in a town, I feel like I'm not doing anything. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm literally just like, I'm not progressing, you know, even though it is actually a step to progression. I guess I'm just impatient at the moment, I guess. That's probably the reason. Ooh, hello. Oh, what is this? Okay, look at this. 750 experience for all ranged weapon skills. Does that actually count for gunpowder? Gonna do that. I don't know whether it does. I have no idea whether it does. Okay, wait a minute. Oh, Yes, 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 it does count for gunpowder. Fantastic. Okay, that's great. Anyway, listen closely, my comrades, the soldier began. To the tale of our last battle. Imagine a sky heavy with clouds, setting the stage for a display of ranged prowess as my regiment aimed for the approaching beastmen. Bows? No, not bows, actually, but bows, crossbows, throwing knives, and gunpowder weapons took center stage. The soldiers exchanged nods, their minds vividly painting scenes of arrows and projectiles soaring through the air. The storyteller's words underscored the intricacies of ranged combat, leaving the soldiers with a deeper understanding of various ranged weapon skills. And there we have it. Look at that! We gained so much skill in basically everything. Wow, that was insane. Someone actually also told me that maybe throwing skill would be a pretty good idea because they have the added benefit. This has the added benefit of giving vigor or something like that. Yeah, there it is. As you see, plus 15 to vigor skills to archers in your formation, and that can make a pretty good difference in regards to them going into melee. So maybe that's going to be an idea, but obviously not at the moment, at least for me right now, because obviously I don't have the ability to level it up that easily, and I need focus points for other things. But yeah, don't worry, I'll try to keep it in mind at the very least. Okay, so swing speed for two-handed weapons is obviously what I'm going to take, and we're probably going to go for some career point here. Increase range damage by 10%. Oh yeah, I also need to turn on the damage numbers. Alright, so we're actually helping out a friend here because he was just about to be eliminated by these beastmen. I'm actually going to tell people just to do their own thing, auto-delegate and so on and so forth, but yeah, that's the thing. He was involved in a battle against the beastmen and he was going to lose. He was actually losing pretty badly here, so I'm actually going to see... Oh, nice! I actually did some damage. Look at that. I actually did some damage with this weapon. I can't believe it. Usually, I'm wholeheartedly assuming I'm not going to do any damage whatsoever just because, you know, it's me and, you know, I'm not very used to using pistols or anything like that. And hilariously enough, I'm not even... I mean, I used to be relatively good at using a two-handed, but for some reason, I don't know. Maybe I need to use a sword or something like that. Maybe a slightly lengthier sword would be agreeable, but I'm going to obviously need to purchase that, and that's going to be extremely expensive as it is. But yeah, anyway, super easy battle for us. Obviously, we're not getting much renown for this at all, but the main reason why I was actually doing it is because I wanted to help this guy out, because he was going to get eliminated. Oh, we only gained 1 relation with him, but I gained 5 skill points for helping him. Look at that. 5 skill points. Okay, I never would have expected that, but okay, alright, yeah, that's absolutely fine. But yeah, the Beastmen actually had a pretty good chance of winning that. I mean, funnily enough, it doesn't seem like it now, but he was actually even with them throughout his battle. So I was like, oh, okay, we should probably go in there and see what we can do. But yeah, not much to say about that, I suppose. Anyway, there's a Beastmen herd stone right here. That is actually a really good place for us to be. If I can get to the next clan tier, which is very close by the way, I only need 2 more renown to be able to do that. I would like to go and fight these cultists if at all possible. This would be really useful for us. Yes, indeed. Look at that. Okay, I actually almost leveled up again as well, which is going to be fantastic, because that means I'm going to get even more career options unlocked. And hopefully, where are they? Okay, they're over there. Let's just move these guys over here. We're going to put these fellows into a loose formation. I do have 4 infantry, but that... No offense, but 4 infantry is not really going to do much in the grand scheme of things, especially against cultists, okay? Especially against cultists, because, let's face it, they don't have shields. They're going to be relatively simple for us to eliminate at the best of times, and I mean, you can see here, obviously, if I don't get myself murdered by a bunch of them, then I should be fine to do what I need to do. And the funny thing is, you see my infantry right there? They just got absolutely murdered. They just got absolutely murdered because I put them out in the front there to delay the enemy. And that's the reason why I've generally said multiple times in the past that keeping your infantry relatively close to archers is actually a better idea, because it means then once the enemy arrives at the ranged unit's location, you can basically just charge your infantry in and then they can all fight together. So it's got a lot more cohesiveness in response. I don't know whether that actually makes any sense to you, but That's kind of my whole, you know, strategy, tactic, whatever. Super basic strategy, but it is effective. You are going to be able to see some really good retention from your forces, because they're not going to die as easily. As you saw, most of my infantry just got absolutely eliminated just because there was nothing else I could do. Because the ranged were, you know, far away. They weren't able to really help that much. I'm actually just going to go into an auto-resolve here. That's going to be a nice easy victory for us. And I did actually advance in level as well. And my clan tier has also advanced. So what I need to do is I need to start recruiting some people. So what I want to check out is what they actually level up into. Okay. Very interesting. So people have told me on other series that the grenade launcher mounted unit, they are really notorious for friendly fire. So we have to be a bit careful with those. So we may in fact just go for the Empire Valiant Outrider instead. As you can see, they do come with a rifle of some kind. We can't tell what the rifle is, but this seems pretty fun. So we're going to recruit a couple of them. And, well, what, are they mounted straight away? No, they're not mounted straight away, but they do come equipped with, I think a gun? I think so? I think that's pretty cool. Anyway, we have some horses available here as well. I probably want to get some of those. We're spending, well, I mean, that's the thing. Gotta spend money to make money sometimes. So, in this case, that's definitely making sense. You know, we should definitely try to see if we can maximize our profits here. Oh, do you think we can win against these guys? That's the thing. Winning against all of these is... it's kind of hit or miss, if you'll excuse the pun, because let's face it, we're, you know, using guns. So hit or miss, it kind of is the entire thing. You need to be very careful about this. Anyway, let's see what I can actually do here. Do we want... what do I want? What do I want? I actually want to level up roguery really fast, but I also want to get two-handed skill. Okay, wait a minute. Well, what is the first thing that I can get in the gunpowder tree here? Your accuracy is increased by 20% with gunpowder weapons when mounted. That's actually pretty cool. And mounted ranged troops in your party have their riding skill increased by 30. That can be extremely impressive. But also, while on foot and using a pistol, your accuracy penalty for moving is reduced by 20%. I don't really care about that too much because I'm not usually going to be moving that much. But the other thing is, gunpowder infantry troops in your party have their gunpowder skill increased by 30. Okay, so basically what this means is if you're using mounted combat, or if you're using mounted troops, in other words, noble troops, then you probably want to go for the top one. But if you're using primarily peasant infantry, then, well, peasant, you know, musketeers, pistoliers, whatever you want to call them, then this one is better. So I guess that's, something to bear in mind. Just going to put another point in gunpowder, just to make sure. Party movement speed increased by 20% while in forested terrain. Sounds good. All right. Let's do it. This is going to be maybe pretty harsh, actually. Surprisingly harsh, I think, maybe. Anyway, let me spread everyone out. We want to make sure that they're as spread as possible. And I need to actually do some distracting here. We actually need to do some distracting. So I will see if I can maybe do something. Let me see here. I kind of want to get a headshot, you know. Someone said that it's better to aim upwards with the pistol. So I'm... Oh. Did not mean to fire that. My bad. Yeah, anyway, so yeah, it's better to aim upwards with the pistol because there is a little bit of a weird trajectory for it, and I'm absolutely failing everyone right here. Oh, look at that! Ragen actually gained a kill. Wow, I'm surprised. Very, very surprised indeed. Okay, I'm just going to switch to my two-handed here just to maybe do some damage. Because the pistol is very slow at reloading, so we do need to be a bit more aware of when that is actually happening, because we really don't want to leave our forces out in the cold, because there have been many times, and this is actually what's really funny. you know, people still comment on this. On my first ever series of Bannerlord, when I was still kind of getting a handle on the whole combat system, because obviously I didn't get, you know, I didn't get any kind of early access to the game. I didn't get any kind of preview build or anything like that. I only had the opportunity to play the multiplayer for a little bit of time, but that's completely different from how single player actually is, you know what I mean? So generally, my first series ever, I was really rusty. I had no idea what was really going on, because obviously all the systems had been changed rather dramatically from, you know, from Warband, because obviously it's very, very different. It feels very different in comparison. The two games are, you know, their combat systems at least are very, very different in regards to how the weapons act in your hands. So, for example, in Bannerlord, most of the weapons are going to feel a little bit heavier. They're going to be a bit sluggish if you are used to Warband's combat, you know? Whereas Warband, the weapons are really fast. They have very little weight behind them, unless you're using like a big two-handed, I suppose. But even then, you know, it's just got like more of an instantaneous combat mechanic. And so when people, you know, when people watch the first series and they comment stuff like, wow, you really need to, you know, do this thing and you really need to do that thing. And I go, well, yeah, I actually know that now because it's 3 years later. But back then, this is what I'm talking about. Because in the first series, I decided that I would, weirdly enough, use thrown weapons. I don't know why I decided to use thrown weapons. And in the very first couple of battles, I thought, yes, I will use thrown weapons only, and I will allow every single one of my troops to get eliminated. And, well, indeed, that is what ended up happening. Every single one of them died because I was just unable to get any kills with my thrown weapons, because again, the systems were different. It was very, very difficult to get used to that on the fly, or at least from my perspective, I found it quite tricky. And there you have it. That's just how that went. And so this particular battle that we had just now was kind of harking back to that a little bit, because I was kind of thinking to myself, I don't really want the entire thing to happen again, where we basically just go, yes, I will go in there, and then I will, you know, do 2 damage or miss entirely with my, you know, whatever it is, with my ranged attack. And yeah, I didn't want that to happen again, where we would then be at a disadvantage and maybe end up even losing, which would be terrible. So, yeah, that was the reason why I wanted to, you know, switch to my two-handed. But I just thought that was an important thing for me to mention, because there's, you know, there's always like a bit of experience / a story behind the various things that I do, because obviously I've experienced a whole bunch of things in this game, and well, some of them are indeed entrenched in very deep-rooted memory of something that happened a long time ago, and sometimes I'm just going to need to react to that, you know, proactively rather than, you know, reactively. So it's just very much a case of, yes, I must do this to be able to succeed at the thing that I'm trying to go for, and that is, of course, attempting to win the battle. That's what I wanted to do. Anyway, let's see. Do we have a couple of people that can level up here? Yeah, we got some handgunners. These guys are leveling up into cavalry. I'm not sure if I have enough. I think I do have enough in cash. And we're going to go in here. I'm going to go into an auto-resolve against these guys. I know this seems a little bit ill-advised, but what I really want to do is I would like, if I can do it, to get to 25 medicine skill. So auto-resolving is generally going to get you a lot more medicine skill than pretty much anything else, until you get Doctor's Oath, of course. I made that short on how to level, you know, how to level medicine skill. And yeah, generally Doctor's Oath is the secret. It is so strong. It is absolutely ludicrous how strong it is, because until you get to 75 in medicine, it is a huge marathon, and it feels like you are literally walking through what could be considered treacle or tar or whatever. It's so slow to level before you get that Doctor's Oath. But once you get that, everything is, well, everything is forgiven basically, and you are literally just now able to then make massive amounts of experience gains just from auto-resolving and so on. So it's really important that you try to get that. But obviously, auto-resolving in general is definitely going to be far and away the best way to level up in medicine skill most of the time anyway, because your forces are going to get eliminated that much faster than if you were to go in there normally. Because if you go into a manual battle, it's wholeheartedly likely that you're just not going to see that many casualties, because you yourself are obviously going to be in the battle, and you are indeed going to play relatively decently, and so much so that, well, the enemies are probably not going to be able to do too much to you. Anyway, we'll go for Pistoliers here as well. There we go. And yeah, I think I should probably, I need to recruit more people, actually. That's the funny thing about this. I don't, oh, actually, should we get some more horses? Yeah, why not? That did not help me in the least. Huh. Do we have a herd deficit? No, we don't have a herd deficit. Okay, so I can probably just leave it the way it is now then. Okay, let me just recruit some of these guys. I don't really want too many of any particular unit type. I'm kind of just hoping for, you know, a general smattering of everything at the moment. And let's just get these guys. I'm obviously going to try my best to get as much loot as possible and also to get as much experience. Okay, so wait a second. We need to actually go over in this direction, because this is where these wonderful villages are that provide us with noble troops. Because we do want to get a bunch of those. And there we go. Let's do this. There we are. Perfect. More prisoners for our roguery skill as well. And I don't know whether you know this. There's a pond here. Yes, I think we've already done this. If you would like, you can indeed, you know, pause the video and read this if you so desire. I don't think I want to really do anything here. I'm just going to have my men rest. I actually wonder whether that's going to give me any medicine skill. No, it doesn't seem like it gives me medicine skill. Alright. I thought because it was a medicine check, maybe we would get some. But it just heals you. So it's absolutely fine. I don't have a problem with that at all. But yeah, I was kind of hoping, because, you know, anything to help me level up medicine skill is definitely going to be a thing I will be trying to go after. Okay, so what is my last ability here? Go for a hunt once a day. Success chance based on scouting, polearm, and range skills. Okay, and we need renown rank 2 to be able to do this. How close are we to renown rank 2? We're actually not even that far away. If I just go into auto-resolves a whole bunch, I am eventually going to be getting there pretty quickly, actually, so maybe that would be an idea. I don't know. Maybe it would be more of an idea to do that than anything else, but, well, we'll see. Anyway, I have some cavalry, and I actually have some horse archers now. I know, very surprising. Okay, so wait a minute. This guy's actually got a bunch of perks, so I should probably put him over there instead of me. And let's see. Okay. I guess I'm just going to go auto-delegate and then just have them do their skirmishing and things like that. It's going to be so much easier for them to skirmish than it is for me to tell them what to do. So I will just let them do whatever they want at the moment. Beastmen, I'm pretty sure should be fine for us right here, but they do have shields, and we are indeed fighting against a couple of deserters at the same time. So that is a little bit of an issue, isn't it? I do need to go in here and try to maximize damage. So I will hit a couple of them. I'm not going to finish them off, because if I try to finish off one particular unit, all that's going to happen there is that every single enemy in that area is just going to try and murder me with their bows. And because I'm standing still, it's going to be really easy for them to kill me. In comparison to me just, you know, making one hit and moving on, it's just a lot easier to do it that way, because then I can just come back like this, and then we can just slaughter them where they stand, because they've already taken some pretty big damage. I'm surprised that these fellows are actually still living, because I've just hit them once, each one, and they're basically limping along at the moment. So very surprised that they weren't eliminated by some of our ranged, but I guess that's because they were literally getting murdered in the process, weren't they? Alright, so let's actually level up these guys. Let's have a look. Pistoliers, yes. Skirmishers. Make sure that these fellows are leveling up into the right ones. And there we have it. Okay, so we're going to pay 1,000. It's actually really cheap to level up Empire units in comparison to Bretonnian units, because Bretonnians in the previous series, they were bankrupting me instantly upon literally just upgrading them, recruiting them, whatever. I guess it's because they come equipped with much better gear or something like that. I'm not entirely sure, but they seem to be a lot more expensive. Yeah, but otherwise, apart from that, look at how many bandits there are. That's one thing I actually really like about this mod, because you are literally able to gain so much experience and so much renown in a short amount of time, and you don't have to you don't have to struggle for it. You know what I mean? Like, for example, in the base game, there are many opportunities for you to literally just do nothing. Some of the time, you basically just can't do anything because you are not able to find any bandits, not able to find any tournaments, and not able to find any tasks that you want to do, of course, because there are going to be some cases where you just can't find anything that you want to do. You know, for example, there's always going to be a tournament available somewhere, but it very much depends on how far away it is and whether you want to travel there and, you know, so on and so forth. You know, it's all that. But in this, you basically just go, okay, I know where to go. I'm going to go to the nearest possible bandit hideout or something like that, and that is going to be the thing that will actually get me what I need. And that's the thing that, you know, I think is really important. Anyway, there is a sledgehammer here. I'm not going to be using this, even though it is actually really good. It has the ability to crush through blocks, doesn't it? Yeah, it can knock down. Yeah, it can knock down. So this is obviously pretty strong, but here's the thing with this. It has 86 swing speed in comparison to 102, but it does do more damage. Oh, its length is much better. You know what? I'm going to use it. It looks... okay, it looks like a croquet mallet, doesn't it? Yes, it does. Okay, yeah, let's ignore that for the moment. Maybe it's a little bit more effective than a croquet mallet. Although, to be fair, a croquet mallet could potentially be used as a very dangerous weapon if one were so inclined, you know? Anyway, we're actually going to be getting this witch hunter, because someone actually told me that witch hunters do come equipped with guns. Right. And so I'm thinking to myself, yeah, that sounds like a really good idea. So, wait a minute. He's telling me to go to high deck and investigate the situation. I can't do that right now. Can I not recruit you, sir? Oh, okay. Apparently I can't. Apparently I am unable to recruit him, and now I am forever sad. Okay, well, we don't want him then. Okay, so we want someone else then, don't we? We want to be able to... Well... I would like to get a witch hunter, but apparently... I mean, do I need to do the quest to be able to recruit him? Surely not, right? Surely I don't need to do that. And see, now I have no idea. Now I'm questioning it, whether I actually need to do that quest to be able to get him. But, oh well, whatever the case, it doesn't matter so much at the moment. All that matters is just leveling up our troops, getting as powerful as possible so we can start to graduate into fighting against much larger parties. We want to be fighting against chaos as much as possible. Did I actually level up? Yes, I did. Oh, fantastic. And look at this, loose formations. I am primarily going to be fighting in loose formations, so we are going to be... wait a minute. Yeah, we are primarily going to be fighting in loose formations because obviously I mostly use line or loose, and so that makes the most sense. And otherwise, what do we want to do? Well, I probably want to level up my two-handed skill more. And my riding skill. And my leadership skill. Yeah, this is a huge issue, isn't it? Okay, leadership skill, I just want to make sure that it continues to level up. That's the main issue here. Gonna level up discipline as well, because we want our gunpowder to level up as fast as possible. And we can now go on a hunt once a day. I'm not sure how we do that, but I don't know whether it's even worth me doing it, to be honest. Maybe it is. Alright, so this is going to be a pretty difficult battle for us, but thankfully I do have my wonderful sledgehammer, and this is obviously much easier for me to potentially use in combat because it has a much longer reach. Now I am just going to be telling my forces to auto-delegate here just because these are literal bandits and I don't think we should really have too many issues, especially considering my horse archers should have a pretty easy time of defeating them, because as you can see they're just gonna run rings around them basically, and my other forces are gonna get into range, and hopefully that's gonna make all the difference in the world. So there we go, just gonna shoot that guy point blank range, gonna switch over to my mallet. Oh wow, that was actually some pretty good damage. Whoa, okay, hello. Apparently this is a what is this weapon? Is this my new favorite weapon? I wonder, can you get something like this in the base game? I'm actually not entirely sure whether you can. I mean, you can get I know you can get a sledgehammer of sorts, but I'm not sure whether it's as effective because I think it's shorter. I think it's a shorter reach, but I could be misremembering about that. I don't know, but I remember that I used one time, and I was very impressed with it at that point, but it was a lot shorter in regards to its reach. So I wonder now whether... Okay, that's kind of weird. That's kind of weird. Alright, well, whatever the case, I think we're pretty good here, because this guy is about to get murdered. Well, not by me, by the looks of things, but by someone else. There we have it. Not too bad. And we actually defeated them remarkably fast, surprisingly fast. And now, here we go. More level ups. Okay, finally, look at this. We've gotten to our first point where we can actually get some max level noble troops, and we can actually get these guys. We've got our leadership starting to level up as well. Leadership obviously very early on is going to give us some pretty decent party size increases, and I'm thinking to myself, yeah, maybe that's a pretty good idea for us, because obviously apart from the fact that you're going to be able to then increase your +1 to troop tier when recruiting from the same culture, that is basically so good. That is so good for us right now. We're going to go for veterinary skill right there as well. Did I level up again, or was that just perks? No, they were just perks. Okay, good to know. I always get mixed up with that for some reason. Anyway, let's move on over here. There's a bunch of extra people that need to be recruited. There we go. I want to try to get to maximum amount of people, and even if they do get themselves eliminated in the various fights, that's not actually going to make any difference, because they're eventually going to level up, and that is all that we really need. Because if I just go in here, do this, it's going to level up my medicine skill, going to level up my tactics, leadership, it's going to give me more experience, more money, and it's just a win-win situation all around. I actually wonder whether I can move myself faster, whether there's anything that I can do to make my party move quicker. I mean, obviously the one thing that is kind of a little bit detrimental to us right now is that I'm running around with a significant amount of prisoners. That is the main issue. So I think what I'll probably have to do is I'll just make my way over to the town here, and I might actually decide to just stay relatively close by and then just continue to take prisoners over and over again, and then just come back here and just level up my roguery skill to 25 relatively fast, and then, rinse and repeat over and over again. Okay, so let's just sell some of our tools here, silver ore, the linen. As I say, basically if you go into a fight against any of these deserters, there is the chance that you're going to be able to retrieve goods that they have gained from villagers and or caravans. And that is primarily the reason why we're making so much money quite a lot of the time, because they do have these trade goods. Obviously, apart from the fact that they do have some pretty decent gear as it is, and their loot is actually not bad. So, there's a number of reasons why you would want to do that potentially, but yeah. Anyway, as you see, we just got some more... got some more prisoners. Wouldn't mind getting to 25 roguery. I wouldn't mind getting to 300 roguery, but, we can't always have what we want straight away, can we? I don't really want to go for the grenade launchers right now. I think grenade launchers are definitely going to be really useful later on when we actually start getting into sieges. But because I want to try to maximize the survivability of my own troops right now, I'm kind of a little bit more inclined not to do that. So yeah, preventive medicine, absolutely fantastic. Obviously, it only works when you finish a battle, so we're going to have to do that. And that's the point. If, as I say, if you go into an auto-resolve with it, then it's immediately going to give you that HP back, which is absolutely fantastic, because that means that you can go into an auto-resolve battle and then go into a regular battle straight after that, because it will push you over the threshold and you don't have to wait around, which I very much appreciate. I haven't actually been able to get a headshot with my pistol. And I'm wondering whether that is even... I mean, I'm sure it's possible, of course, but I'm wondering how easy it actually is. Ah, was that a headshot? No, that was a chest shot. Oh, and did it penetrate multiple enemies? No, it doesn't... I'm not entirely sure. It seemed like it penetrated multiple enemies, but I don't know. There we go. Nice hit right there. Ah, we're now at 50 gunpowder skill. Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Okay. That is about time, isn't it? Okay, let me just see if I can hit a couple of these people along the way here. There we go. Oh, actually dealt some pretty good damage. Oh, what? My sledgehammer is actually hitting multiple people with one swing? Very nice. Yeah, so my ranged troops are actually skirmishing against the beastmen now, which is actually hilarious. I never would have expected them to do something like that, but they are. So that's good. That's actually really, really good. And that's also partially the reason why doing auto-delegate is sometimes very effective. Because you're then going to be in this situation where your troops are actually going to be able to do something that you normally wouldn't be able to unless you wanted to be really, on top of them in terms of micromanagement. And obviously micromanagement when you're fighting at the same time, I think that's going to be pretty difficult. It's not impossible, but it would be very, very difficult to actually make that work. There is the Masterwork Old Spear that I have used in previous series. It is a fantastic weapon, really, really good. Does a lot of damage. If you are a polearm user, you might as well just go for that and then not use anything else for the remainder of the playthrough unless you find something really, really good somewhere else. But that is a really good spear. So highly recommended to use something like that. But anyway, yeah, we're just bankrupting this entire town right now, which is absolutely what we intend to do, of course. Really need to get a lot of those. There we go, another 11,000 for us right there. And I'm now wondering whether we should actually do that quest. Maybe we should. Maybe we should do the quest for the witch hunter. Maybe I need to do that to be able to recruit him. I don't know. But I guess we'll find out. I guess we'll find out. Okay, so we'll go for a pistolier once again. There we go. We'll go for one of these. I need to make sure it's a little bit more intricate to level these fellows up rather than the Bretonnians, because the Bretonnians was literally just me spam clicking basically to level them up because they all level up into a relatively similar unit. But the the Empire has a number of different offshoots. And so I'm having to remember all of that. If I only had party screen enhancements, but I don't really want to install anything just in case. You never know when things are not going to be too applicable, or should we say compatible with each other. So yeah, anyway, we can now move over to the next town and we can sell some things there too, because of course we now have some pretty good... Okay, so wait a minute. Yeah, so basically they're always asking me this now, so I'm wondering whether I probably need to do this. I'm thinking I probably need to do this particular task for me to even get the opportunity to recruit them. So that's probably what we'll end up doing, but in this particular episode, I think that's gonna be it. I think that will be it for this one. And next time we'll do the Witch Hunter's task, hopefully be able to recruit a couple of them, because it seems as though I need to do that before they agree to join us or whatever. I'm actually not entirely sure, but otherwise, I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.